What's up, B2? Capital G here. So this is pretty awesome, and it's a little bit of news that I have not covered yet on my channel, but it's something I definitely wanted to touch on, and it's what Konami has planned for the 200th YCS Championship Series event. Basically, and I did not see them doing anything this awesome, although it was kind of known because of the EU Konami guys that they wanted to do something big. Konami is going to be hosting 3 simultaneous YCS Championship events over the span of one freaking awesome weekend. So this is going to be happening in September. I believe it's the 22nd and the 23rd. So that weekend, if you're free, definitely pencil this in. And they're going to be hosting 3 different events on 3 different continents that are kind of all going to count as the 200th YCS. Like, if anyone asks you in a couple of years, like, were you at the 200 YCS? Like, there may be somebody in North America on Discord and somebody all the way in Mexico on Discord like, yeah man, I was at the event. So they're going to be hosting 3 different events. One's going to be in Mexico City, which should have I think really good attendance. Mexico City is, from what I understand, like, the population is just increasing and increasing. I actually think that that city's going to end up getting an NBA team pretty soon. They got a G League team. They're going to be in Columbus, Ohio, which is in North America. That's in the United States of America. That's a really good location if you don't know anything about the US. Columbus it's not quite the center of our country, but like, it's close enough to all the East Coast guys, you know, who can get there pretty easily. Then you also have the Midwest, where it's kind of smack in the middle of, and it's not that far from the North. In fact, even some Canadian duelists like Sam, they'll almost certainly be at that event because it's really not that far. I think that even the West Coast guys will show up. And then we have an event in Utrecht, which is actually in the Netherlands. I can't really speak on that one that much because my geography when it comes to Europe is not that good. And something that I think is really awesome about this post that Konami made is how they kind of tell the history of the YCS series and how it started out all the way back in 2004. It was the Shonen Jump Championship series. Then newer players might not know that, you know, the YCS series used to be called Shonen Jump Championships. And throughout the 5Ds, the GX, and the DM era, we all knew them as SJCs. Started all the way back in 2004. The first event was so tiny too, guys. It was only about 300 players, just a little bit over that, and it was in California too, so it was in a huge location. And now we know regionals to be about that size. So yeah, the origins of the YCS series are very small, where the first event was like kind of just a regional level event. And you know, it talks about the expansion and when we had our first mega event, or I guess you could really say historic event, YCS Long Beach, which obviously broke the Guinness Book of World Records. That was 4,000 people, over 4,000 people. I've heard the so many stories from that event of, you know, Swiss not ending until like 2 in the morning, to the event starting like 4 hours behind schedule because the registration just kept going and going and going. The PTOs having to scramble and find, you know, extra rooms to have these players in. They kind of went through the same thing with YCS Bochum earlier this year, which actually it talks about how we expanded to the European continent with YCS Bochum in 2010. It must just be something about Bochum that players really love, because that's where the first European YCS was held, and that's where the largest European YCS was held as well. Talks about how we went to Oceania in 2014 with YCS Sydney, the advent of live streaming with YCS Madrid. And actually, speaking of live streaming, to me, I think that there is a really big opportunity here for Konami to simulcast all 3 of these things and maybe put them on YouTube and Twitch. Could you imagine how many thousands of viewers they could end up getting? Because sometimes with the finals, these events can end up pulling in 3, 4, well, between Twitch and YouTube, sometimes about 5,000 viewers, which is a lot of viewers, a lot of players in watching YouTube, or excuse me, watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you can get all 3 events streamed, especially considering the time difference between, you know, North America and Europe, you could basically be having like 24 hours of Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Being streamed. And I think that that would be a huge opportunity for Konami, because I can't think of any other time that they could have this opportunity to have Yu-Gi-Oh! Just being streamed basically all day for anybody who wakes up at any point to just be able to catch some competitive action. They're also going to be giving away an exclusive mat, which they tend to do for all the historic YCSs, 75th, 150th, 100th YCS, etc., etc. So this is a really big deal. And what do you guys think about this, man? It really shows how far the game has come, because I started playing the game super competitively during the GX era. I played during DM, but it was all just kind of locals. And to me, and I'm not trying to be like biased here, but that's when the game really started to take off, or at least that's when this circuit took off, the Shonen Jump slash YCS circuit. That's when we started to get events of, 700 and like 1,000 players, and that's when the event really got legs. And then in 5Ds it just blew up, and we had that one event that just, no one expected us to get that type of level. But I wonder what you guys think of this, and are you going to be attending? I actually could see, because they picked some really good locations, I could see maybe not 4,000 at any one event. I'm not sure that any card game in the near future is going to break that world record. I just don't see that coming. I think that was the perfect storm for Yu-Gi-Oh right there. But I could definitely see us getting even maybe 5,000 players between these three events. Like, would it be reasonable for us to get 2,000 players at Columbus, 2,000 at Udrich, and then get 1,500 at Mexico City? Like, yeah, I could definitely see that. So whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. I might go to Columbus. I've never been to Ohio before. Guess there's a first time for everything. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos. I can't even get my outro right.